if I had to list a top 10 fan base, and I would use a series of things that matter: loyalty, size, consistent support, impact. Here's the best, to me, the best fan bases in the NFL. Number one, Pittsburgh. They're willing to sit in crappy weather. It's one of the loudest stadiums. They've been loyal for 30-plus years. They travel better than anybody and turn Super Bowls into home field advantages. Number two is Green Bay. Massive national size, one of the louder stadiums. They're loyal for even bad teams. I'd say Philadelphia is the most underrated. They're third. I mean, they had to put a jail in the bottom of their stadium. They get rowdy, they get loud, and it's an intimidating place to play. I'd put Denver 4. They have been filling stadiums forever. The Cowboys would be number 5. It's the largest fan base in the country, but they're not that loyal. It's kind of corporate. They go to a stadium, and they're not that loud. When's the last time anybody went to Dallas and said, I can't hear in here? It's just so loud. It's not that loud. I'd put Kansas City number 6. Loud. It's just not a very big fan base. It's in Kansas City. You don't see a lot of Kansas City Chiefs hats around the country. That size isn't very big, but it's one of the loudest stadiums. Arrowhead has loyal fan bases. Those people sit through hailstorms. I'd say the Saints are 7. It's the loudest stadium in the NFL. It changes the way you have to attack the Saints when you go down to New Orleans. That's why nobody wants to go to New Orleans and play. It changes game plans. I would put number 8, Seattle, second loudest NFL stadium. They have something called the 12th man for a reason. I'd put Chicago at 9. In terms of pregame, postgame, celebration, media coverage, intensity, and willingness to be in bad weather. And number 10, I'd say Buffalo. To sit through all that bad football for most of the last 20 years, I just think you owe them the responsibility of being on this list. Those are the 10 best fan bases in the National Football League. Great news, quick, easy way you can save money. Switch to Geico. Takes 15 minutes. Save 15%. Geico.com. Smart people, as a rule, are concerned about stuff. Financial inequity in America, poverty, world hunger, their own health and aging. I think smart people tend to be concerned about problems ahead. That's smart. Odd people get consumed with stuff, have 13 facelifts. Yes, I care how I look going forward, but I'm not going to start just pulling everything back and spending my time in a hospital. Little tuck here and there, perhaps. But my point being is there is a difference. The words even sound alike between concerned and consumed. I live in Los Angeles. I'm concerned about earthquakes, but I don't stand in door frames all day. I was concerned 19 years ago about Y2K. I'm not a doomsday prepper. I was not consumed by it. Those are weird people, building bunkers in their backyards. Frank Vogel got an interview for the Lakers job. He hasn't worked so far anywhere. And if you're going to just hire a guy that's been fired a bunch, hire Jason Kidd. Nothing against Frank Vogel, but if you're going to hire a guy that's been fired, Jason Kidd's been fired, Frank's been fired, hire Jason, because Jason and LeBron, they respect each other. Jason's one of the great players of all time. And again, I get the concern. Optics do matter. LeBron, the last 3 times he's left a team, they've been in shambles the next day. I get it. That's being concerned. But the Lakers now, the Rambus is running the family, the team. We're going to hire Vogel over Jason Kidd. That's consumed by stuff. That's consumed with LeBron having too much power. He is your best player. What I'd like to remind everybody, this was his bad year. This was his disaster year. 28-8-8. Excuse me? Yeah. He will be either the best player in the league next year or the second best. Okay? And the Lakers have a history of handing the franchise over to stars. This is not foreign territory. They gave Magic the franchise. Think I'm wrong? He got a winning head coach fired. They gave it to Magic. By the way, they gave it to Kobe. Kobe met with Phil. Phil, come on back. Okay, so don't tell me the Lakers have never given the keys to this franchise to star players. They have. Now, they had to make a choice, by the way, Shaq and Kobe, but the minute they chose Kobe, they gave him the franchise. Okay? And he made threats, I'm leaving Chicago, and they listened, backed the truck up, as they should have. But there is a massive difference between concerned and consumed. If you're going to hire Frank Vogel, just hire Jason Kidd. Yes, he's pals with LeBron. Yes, he is. By the way, Pat Riley was concerned, not consumed. Pat Riley was concerned about giving the keys to LeBron. But he did acquiesce a lot with LeBron. Should be noted, at the end, he got a little obsessed with not giving LeBron power. LeBron left, and Pat Riley watched him go to the finals 4 straight years. So be careful, Lakers. If you're going to go Vogel, you might as well go Jason Kidd. Because neither has a history of elevating teams, and I would say Kidd has a better reputation helping young players develop. I think Jason Kidd could help Lonzo Ball. Jason Kidd could help Kyle Kuzma. He could help Brandon Ingram. But if you go Vogel over Kidd now, you've moved into consumed. And that's where strange people live. You don't want to live there. Enjoy with the news.
No. Heard on the news. This is the Herdline News.
So, everyone in the sports world experienced the same reaction watching KD limp off the court the other night, which looked like an obvious Achilles injury. It turned out to be a calf strain, but he's obviously going to miss the rest of the series. Game 6 is tonight, and Game 7 would be Sunday at Oracle.
Yes.
Here is Steve Kerr on the injury.
Yeah, I think it's good news. Calf strain. He's had them before. He's responded well, and obviously we're disappointed he won't be able to play, in this series. But if we're able to win the series and move on, it looks good for his return, in the not too distant future.
Well, the good news is the Warriors are 23-4 when Steph plays and KD is out. You're going to talk about later, you teased that you feel like the Rockets are going to end up winning this series?
Well, I thought a lot about this. We got to be careful about saying, Steph won a title without KD. I went back and looked at the roster. That roster had Bogut playing, Mo Spates, Iggy was closer to his prime, Harrison Barnes. This team is fairly barren. Once they signed Boogie, they basically said, we don't have a bench. So now I don't have Boogie, and now I don't have Durant. Forget the fact they have no bench. Joy, they have no size. This is a tiny basketball team with no depth.
I'm with you. They are a differently constructed team than they were when they won without KD. However, I feel like if they can get through this series, which I think they will, I agree with you that Houston's going to win tonight. I do think they beat Houston.
Wow.
And if they beat Houston, who am I really afraid of? I certainly think that they can beat the Blazers just based off of shooting alone.
I think they match up with Portland pretty well, frankly.
And I think they just have more experience than the Nuggets. Like, yes, Jokic has been incredible, but I'm going with the Warriors in either one of those series, and I'm not afraid of them against anyone in the East. So I feel like this is it. Like, if they can get through this series without KD...
I don't think they can. I did yesterday.
But if they do you see anyone else that can take them down?
It's a hypothetical, and I don't think they can. I literally look at this series now as 5 against 3.5. 5 guys for the Rockets are veterans. Great. Gordon, Harden, Chris Paul, Capella. Who am I missing? PJ Tucker, who's been really good. And now it's Steph, Clay, Draymond, and let's be honest about Iggy. He's about a half. And they're not winning tonight. Again, KD is seen as, you're losing points. You're also losing size. No Boogie. They don't want to play Bogut, clearly. No Boogie, no KD. This is a team now with no size and no bench. And Houston's really good. They're the second best team in the league. I slept on this, and I got up this morning. I'm like, why am I talking myself into Golden State getting through the series? I don't think they're going to.
I don't know. I think they will.
I can't wait for Sunday, because we're getting a Sunday.
Well, we're getting a Sunday, but I don't know. I still have faith. So Thursday, Kyler Murray signed his rookie deal. He signed a 4-year, $35 million contract with a team option for a 5th. And the deal also included a signing bonus of $23.6 million.
Yeah.
So the Cardinals put a little provision in there. They used the same baseball language that was in Jameis Winston's contract.
Yeah.
So any move to baseball will void any future guarantees, which seems pretty fair. Like, you're not going to take guaranteed money if you're not going to be there. Kyler was the first person to be drafted in the first round in the NFL and MLB. But I think this is officially time to lay this baseball fear to rest. Kyler Murray's not leaving the NFL to go back to baseball. And at this point, would baseball even...
Oh, no, they take him. Oh, yeah.
Well, he's not going to do it this year.
No.
So if he was a just complete disaster this year.
But for marketing, I mean, they took Tebow in. I mean, absolutely. Kyler Murray, starting NFL quarterback. Hey, Russell Wilson a couple years ago did a baseball try. Do you know what a gift Russell Wilson would be for a major league franchise and for the sport? He'd be the most popular player in an hour.
I don't know. I hadn't even thought about this until I saw the story today. Like, oh, yeah, that's right. He did have that baseball thing as a concern. Like, it's just not a concern of mine. He's going to play quarterback, and it's the decision he made. Unless maybe 5 years from now it turns out to be a disaster and he goes back.
Well, then you'd want a new quarterback anyway.
Right. So it wouldn't be a big deal. Finally, last week, Odell said to GQ that he's trying to bring as many championships to Cleveland as possible during and also turning the Browns into the new Patriots. He obviously got quite a reaction to that because anytime you invoke the greatness of the Patriots, it usually spurs a bit of a response, but especially when you pair it with the Browns. Well, yesterday he clarified his remarks. He said, just to clarify, I never meant the Browns are the new Patriots or going to be the new Patriots. I just have the great respect for what they've done and definitely recognize the work that has to be done to get there.
Does everybody get that Odell actually wanted his first choice
was to be with the Patriots?
Yeah, he wanted to be a Patriot. Like, everybody gets that, right? Like, this is where he landed. That's fine, and he could be very happy there, but that was where he wanted to go, and L.A. He wanted to be a Ram or he wanted to be a Patriot.
I agree with both of that. Yeah. That's pretty obvious. But I don't think he's upset with being with the Browns at this point.
I think he'll do very, very well. I think he and Baker will actually work very well together.
Right, and I'm glad he clarified it, because I personally didn't think he was saying that they are the new Patriots. But it is good that he clarified it, because that was my whole point, is you need to build a culture. You need to build a franchise. The Browns are in the perfect position this year to create a culture that is not associated with losing. Just slowly make progress. No one's saying that you're going to make it to the Super Bowl this year. Just make progress.
I am so excited for the Browns hosting Tennessee in Week 1. Because that's the schedule. Cleveland's schedule, Joy, in September, October is rough. Like a lot of good teams and a lot of them on the road. Tennessee is considered the gimme to start the season. Crazy old Tennessee. I think Mike Vrabel's really good, and Mariota will be healthy, which he's often not. That is going to be a fascinating game, and Cleveland's going to be the big favorite. It's Mardi Gras, Super Bowl parade, and here comes little sleepy Tennessee, who always finishes just a game out of the playoffs, and I think Vrabel and Mariota together are very interesting. In Week 1.
You call it an upset game 1?
It's got upset written all over it. Upset, because Cleveland's got after that like 7-8 weeks of tough roadies and
maybe it'll end up being a Blazing 5 pick.
Yeah. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping.